Hello, Tara McNamara, and welcome back to TCM. So happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's the fourth night in the 5-night spotlight that we're doing this month that we're calling the Haze Gaze, where we're looking at pairs of films. One film came out pre-code, and the other film came out after the enforcement of the code, even though they have similar subject matter. Tonight, we're going to start off with two films about religion. The pre-code film that we're going to show is from 1931, The Miracle Woman, with Barbara Stanwyck, who's kind of the MVP of this whole series. There's been so many great films that she's featured in. But the director here is Frank Capra, which I think really gives this film its own special feeling.
Yeah.
What do you think people should know about this movie if they haven't seen it before?
Well, religion was controversial, and Frank Capra knew it, and he ran toward it. He was looking for an Academy Award. For him, and I would say also for Barbara Stanwyck, he knew that she would do a lot with this role. And we know now, because he wrote in his autobiography, that he was in love with her at this time. So he was like, oh, this is a great project for us. And so, he went for it with this story. Barbara Stanwyck plays Florence Fallon, a disillusioned preacher's daughter turned fraudulent faith healer. And when she falls in love with a blind man, she wants to leave it all, except for her huckster partner won't let her.
Yeah.
So this is clearly Amy Semple McPherson's story. She had recently been discovered as a fraud after having a really successful radio show, a huge congregation in Los Angeles, and also had been collecting money for a headquarters she never built, which is something that you see in the story. Even the white robes, like everything here is clearly saying Amy Semple McPherson. So that's the story that they were looking to tell. And it was based on a play called Bless You, Sister that was a huge flop on Broadway.
But obviously people saw the potential in it. And it's interesting because at the beginning of the film, the Barbara Stanwyck character's father, the preacher, has died. She doesn't feel like he was appreciated by the congregation. So she delivers this blistering speech that definitely makes you sit up and take notice. And it's shocking that part of that even got through the censors.
This is definitely pre-code. I mean, she says, there is no God. Yeah.
Right.
And so they knew that this was going to be problematic. Harry Cohn, Columbia, had said, don't do this. And he told Frank Capra, he's like, you can't kid religion. This is dynamite. Stay away. And the author of the play had said, look, if New York sophisticates don't want to see this play, guess what? Middle of America, they don't want to see it either.
But I do think the addition of Frank Capra helps, because what you're going to see in this film, which is a hallmark of his, is a cynicism at the beginning that gives way to a fuller heartedness as the plot goes on and as the characters go through their own journeys. And I think it's a hallmark of Frank Capra. It's one of the reasons why he and Barbara Stanwyck made 5 movies together. This was the second of the 5 that they did together. It's just a teaming that seems to work, and I think the Capra touch works well with this story.
Yeah. I mean, the film ultimately doesn't do well, and Frank Capra takes that upon himself because he said that he, as a religious man himself, started getting nervous about it and started sort of giving outs to make sure that Flo didn't seem so bad, like having someone talk her into being this, fraud and other elements. So one thing he does is there's a title card, much like you see in Scarface, a technique they would use at the time to sort of set the intention and let you know that we're on your side, religious people. We're with you. And that kind of helps make this become approved by the code.
All right, well, we'll talk more about this after people watch it. Here from 1931, directed by Frank Capra, Barbara Stanwyck and David Manners in The Miracle Woman.